Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chel Stars podcast. Today's episode is a milestone episode. This is our quarter of a century Chel Stars episode. That's right. It is number 25, and we are thrilled to still be doing these weekly for all you listeners out there. Today, we've got a good show for you tonight. We're going to touch on just some recent news around the league. We had the All-Star weekend last weekend. We had Bo Horvat's big signing with New York Islanders, and we have the trade deadline coming up. So we're going to touch on a few of those points. We're also going to take a look in fantasy-related news. We're going to take a look at all of our fantasy teams and maybe pick a few players that have been a little disappointing so far and not what we anticipated when we picked them. So be a little critique of our own teams, and then of course we've got our trivia for you, and we'll give our next fan question on our social media page at the end. So without further ado, let's get into the recent topics. So I'm going to hand it over to Max. Max, take us through.
Perfect. Thank you, Corey, and welcome to the quarter century mark.
What did I say?
Yeah, exactly that.
Oh, okay. I thought I said something else.
Oh, no. I was just reiterating it. It was a cool point. I mean, I can't believe it's been 25 episodes. And I'm glad we're kind of getting into a consistent posting schedule for it. And thankfully not filming at 11 o'clock at night.
We literally did that last week.
That was last week.
Yeah.
Why I was not there. That's past my bedtime.
I think it was past everyone's bedtime.
Not mine.
Grind, so,
I saw another 3 hours.
So, like Corey mentioned, we had the All-Star weekend last weekend over in Florida. I know a lot of you didn't get to watch it, but honestly, as for one that did watch it, you did not miss much. It was quite painful to watch, not gonna lie. I know my parents felt the exact same way. I could hear my dad cursing at the TV and telling my mom to change the channel because it was that bad. And just really cringy. And I know, Mikey, you did watch it as well, so I just want to hear your quick thoughts on that.
Yeah. Cringy. It's not the same like it used to be back in the day when we had Patrick Kane doing his crazy breakaway moves and Ovechkin back in the day, like that kind of era. It's just all like super like based, if that makes sense. If you watch it, you'll notice what I mean. They would go into like the skating, like the fastest skater competition. They would do like 2 players, and then they would move on to something else, and then go back to it. And then like they did that for like all of the events. It wasn't all just like one kind of go. I know they have the finals where the 2 like fastest skaters compete, but like I just feel like everything was kind of just like all over the place. And the shootouts, the breakaways weren't that entertaining. The goalies are letting in all the goals. I mean, like, I don't know. It was just, especially watching like the golf thing. I don't know if you've seen that, Max. Where,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, where they're on the golf course with the hockey sticks, and then and then they had the Avalanche players, and they had some other players doing like a dunk tank thing, like shooting at a surfboard and then hitting the dunk tank. I don't know. It just, all I want to say is like the All-Star games from past years or even the skills competition, I should say, were like 15 times better.
Yeah. I mean, the All-Star games itself on Saturday, I would say were not bad. You're not really much of a watch.
Who
but
won that?
The Atlantic, I'm pretty sure. Cool, who cares? But I think more so, I always say the skills competition is where they were lacking, and it's so hard to like keep focus on it. There was more commercial breaks than actual like playing time,
And into NFL football.
Yeah, it was like they did the fastest skater first right away, but then
And McDavid didn't.
yeah, I mean McDavid let others play, whatever.
Oh, but come on, man, do your thing.
Yeah, but like I was more very confused why they had them go first, and then about 3 hours later had the top 2 battle it out. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Like
the
there's like
most poorly
spurs
run
of everything. There's like spurs of every event, and then you finally get like the ending event at the end of the the broadcast. Just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, they were just all over. The golf one, was crazy too. Sorry, Kyle, but the golf one they also showed.
Makar fell.
Makar ate it. But the golf one they showed the first few drives, and then they cut away from it, and then 10 minutes later they show him putting on the green. So it's just like cool. Like, why do we have to wait so long in between to see that?
Because none of them hit the green, so they had to go find them.
No, they did all hit the green. No one hit it in the water, which is kind of boring, but like.
And Suzuki won a year of Chipotle, but they don't have Chipotle in Montreal or something. So that's
poor guy.
That's a good price for
request a trade.
Chipotle should specifically build one in Canada now for that. But yeah, overall,
I mean, they're trying something different, and it didn't work, but at least they tried something different.
I think they're just... Or Corey, you finish up.
Well, they should keep the staples, like hardest shot, fastest skater, accuracy should not change. Those should just be, like, they shouldn't have the two finalists final, just have the best score win. That should be the same every year. And then you have 3 events or whatever that you can change and try and, like, market, like, okay, you're in Florida, like, whatever they did. They went on a golfing thing, or they shot like up on the beach. I don't know. You're in Florida, like, have some fun. I mean, ultimately it is for the kids, so kind of showcase your city a little bit. That's fine. But
I think I agree with that for sure.
I mean, you can agree with that, but you have to watch it to see how painful it was.
I think what I would like to see, like, I understand they're trying to make it like more novelty and fun so kids actually watch, but it'd be almost nice if they just did like 2 separate skills events that are just shorter. One where it's just like the classics, the fastest skater, hardest shot, accuracy, whatever, and then they can do a separate one that's all these random fun things that is really just marketed for kids. Because I feel like now what they're having is maybe more kids are watching, but now you're going to have less adults watching, right? So split it up, make it its own thing, have whatever, the weird mascot events in there, but there needs to be some sort of like actual proper skills competition if you want more grown-up hockey fans to actually care, because I think a lot of us at this point aren't even going to bother watching next year.
I don't think grown-ups do care, because the athletes don't even care anymore. They don't even want to go. You're not really seeing the best players anymore.
My discords for hockey were like blowing up, and all these guys are like older, and there's like, it's just shit. I'm trying to agree with you, but it was just I wasn't. Yeah,
unless you get players to care, we're not really going to see anything better.
So you're saying adults want to watch it, but they can't because it's awful?
I think they would watch it if the players were actually the best ones at that event and were actually trying their best. But
which kind of leads into my point, like, that I was going to make, is that they don't need it to just be all-stars that are doing like these things. Like for like fastest skater, like they track how fast every single player moves. Pick the top 6 or 8 from the regular season and bring them to the All-Star weekend, and just for that event. So you see the fastest skaters in the NHL ripping around the ice. And then hardest shot, you can track how fast the puck moves. Bring the 6 or 8 players that have shot the hardest this year to the skills competition only for that event, because I want to see people fire the puck 110 miles per hour. Like, that would be awesome.
I've seen points about that too, which would be really cool. And then also what they can do is bring in like a celebrity or whoever to do that same event, just to see the comparison between them. Like, imagine like McDavid facing off against like, you know, others. Yeah, Bieber. Well, Bieber might be at the next Toronto one, that's for sure. But incorporate more, you know, fun into it, and
just draft a random person from the crowd to come join the event.
Could do that too.
I think one thing I'd like to see too is like competitions that aren't hockey related, but it still has like the all-stars. Like, I'd love to see like Trevor Zegras and Brady Tkachuk face off against each other in like a home run derby. Like, that would be pretty sick. That'd be random as heck. But home run derby is so good for like MLB. Like, why can't they bring it over to the NHL and give that a go?
Oh.
I don't know.
I'd be amazed
opinion.
if any of them could hit a home
Unpopular
run.
opinion.
They need to bring the draft back for the All-Star game, like back in the days where there's two captains.
Mhm.
You have your list of players, and then you can choose them. That was some good shit back then. It was actually fun to watch too, watching them draft.
I think the thing that is missing is like you'll cheer for the players that are like on your team, and then that's it. But that's only one of the 30 players that are invited. So, whereas like in hockey, you're used to cheering for half of the players on the ice because they're all on your team. So, I think they have to find a way to incorporate more of like some sort of aspect where everyone can get behind the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, shout out to Pedersen for winning the hardest shot competition.
Yeah. And shout out to Ovi for missing the net.
Yeah, didn't he hit both posts or something?
I'm pretty sure his first try he just missed the net completely. It didn't even
Oh, I thought he hit
register.
I think he hit both
Did he?
posts.
Oh,
Yeah, I think he hit both
Yeah.
posts.
funny.
Yeah, and they didn't let him shoot again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not.
Okay.
And McDavid going 8 for 8 in the accuracy shooting, but not winning.
Yeah, see, it's all a joke. It's all
It's just
it's not real. Right? It's not real. The athletes, they go there for the novelty. The first time they go, it's kind of fun, but they don't want to be there anymore. They want to win the cup. They're focused on it. And I think like people watching are like kids or like hockey nerds, and we're all hockey nerds, so we watch. But like, I don't think casual fans are really watch. They might watch the highlights. Oh, that's cool, or stuff like that. But I don't know. It's mid-season. Nobody cares more about the All-Star game than the NHL,
yeah. I'd agree.
right? They care more. Like, so they're not gonna send fourth line players that are the fastest player. They're not gonna do that. They're just gonna send their best players, and they're gonna send one from every team minimum, and they're gonna do everything they can to make sure John Scott isn't there. And things like that. So, whatever. It is what it is.
So we'll have to see what the NHL does with the All-Star game next year. It'll be in Toronto, like we already mentioned.
Yeah.
Most likely there won't be the most drastic changes, but you never know. Maybe they'll see the reviews of this year's one and they'll realize that it needs a big change. And it is in Toronto.
I was going to say, it's a lot different with it going to Toronto too.
Bigger. Pretty big spotlight on there now.
Yeah, there's no experimenting. Like, they have to actually have stuff that works.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be a much better atmosphere too.
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure.
Boy, it was dead in Florida. Mikey, did you see the crowds?
Yeah.
AKA no crowd.
Mm.
It was, dead quiet. I'm pretty sure they were saying as well, like halfway into the skills comp, some people were leaving too. It's not good. So that leads us into a little surprise part of this podcast. I'm going to do another edition of the rapid fire trivia.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow,
And
okay.
There's always a theme to this, and to this one, it is the NHL All-Star Weekend.
Is it just this? Is it just this All-Star Weekend,
No,
or
it is all
All-Star history?
All
Okay.
history.
Nice.
I already know one of the answers.
Do you now? I think.
I do.
Yeah.
Dylan
I do.
Larkin.
We're not there yet, boys. Calm down. I'm gonna just.
Was he
erase
right,
that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I didn't ask it. So you know the drill. First few questions, just gonna be whoever shouts it out. Then I'll explain after that. There's a few other questions where I don't think you'll know it, so I'm just gonna get everyone to guess, and whoever's closest will win. Or else we might be here a while. All right. So let's see who paid attention to this year's All-Star game.
Okay.
Probably the one who watched it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. You should all know it, though. All right. Who was the only team to not have a representation?
Seattle.
It is
Seattle.
Seattle. Ooh. Mikey, you got beat. Come on.
Like, you didn't even finish the question.
Yeah, you heard it, though.
Process it for half a second. Like, this guy was already... He was like, you were like, who was the team? And he was like, Seattle.
I said it was the only team not to have a representation. That's pretty much all
That's
you
why
needed.
Corey has like 15 trivia wins, and I had 3.
Nice. That was quick. So, I still don't understand why the never representation, by the way.
Well, I think Beniers was...
It's because Beniers... Yeah.
But, like, Beniers got hurt, so they put in a Vegas player.
Yeah.
Weird.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't
Everyone else
make
from
any
Seattle
sense.
probably said no.
Well, who else on Seattle would you have chosen?
Dunn? Maybe?
Dunn didn't have a good... Dunn's been really good the last couple months, but not the whole...
Okay, well, they got options. They're at the top of the div. I feel like you could have had a
Could have had
someone.
someone.
McCann,
Yeah.
Burkowski.
Yep. Yeah,
Like, you got options.
I think Seattle.
That's fair.
I think Seattle did say no,
Maybe.
which I didn't know you were allowed to do.
Yeah. I feel like more teams would be doing that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see this one. Who holds the record for the fastest skater all time?
Phil Narkin.
I don't know who I heard first. Maybe
There's no
Claire.
way it's it.
It was probably Corey like 5 minutes ago.
It
when he
was,
said
but I
it.
didn't ask it, so I'm not taking that.
It was me 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was Mike.
It was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you can give it to Mike, I guess.
All right,
Sorry,
good job.
Mikey.
So it was happening in 2016 at 13.172. It's pretty quick.
But
Just randomly
But,
guess
yeah,
the
I-
player.
Corey
he
knows
had the
that,
running
Max.
start.
He did.
Yeah, the running start.
Yes.
Does that
Highly
really
debatable.
count?
Well,
Oh, it doesn't really.
Technically it does,
history
but it
books,
shouldn't.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got like 14 plus seconds this time around without a running start, I think, or something.
He wasn't trying, so. Their only goal is to not wipe out, like Makar.
He's safe, guys. Don't worry. He's healthy. Well, he was healthy, and then Jeff Carter elbowed him in the head in his first game
True.
back after the All-Star break. So
All right, next question. Who holds the record for the hardest shot all time?
Chara.
Chara?
Okay, well, I think I heard Kyle.
Wow.
Well, I don't know.
You.
All 4 of you talk at the same time, so
I said Chara, then the rest of you guys said Chara. So
I thought I heard
I didn't hear
I'm
you
giving
say
that to
anything.
myself.
I didn't hear you say one word.
Max did.
Honestly, me neither.
I'm
heard
pretty
mine.
sure I
Probably-
heard.
Max, you're correct in your assumption. I guarantee that.
For people listening, we use Discord, and his little bubble did light up, I believe, first. So that does kind of help.
Tie goes to the bubble.
The bubble. All right. So those are the easy questions.
I'm just gonna clap my hands first, then, and make a noise.
Okay.
I'm just making like alarm
All
sounds.
right. I guess I'm not using that anymore.
How about you play fair?
Okay, this one's different. I'm gonna ask all of you for your best guess. Unless you do know it, you can shout it out.
Jim Playfair.
No. What year did the first All-Star game take place?
Oh,
1963.
Okay, that's your guess. Anyone else?
1953.
Okay, no, you have one guess.
What? I was rapid fire. I thought.
Someone just everyone. I said everyone will get one.
1972.
Okay, Kyle,
Way off.
Aaron.
I'll go 1985.
Oh,
I was gonna go in the 80s. I'll go 1978.
jeez. Okay, guys, it was Corey.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Wow.
the first one was in 1947.
Jeez.
Oh wow!
How are you saying way off to me when they're guessing 1985?
They were, way off.
1940 what?
7.
47 NHL All-Star game.
Don't Google it. Don't Google it.
Oh my god. Fine. Okay.
It might have an answer to the next question.
I stopped googling it.
But yeah, 1947. Way to go, Corey. Even though
Thank
you were
you.
still like 15 off your first one. Question for you all now, and similar, you can just have your best guess. What was the format of these All-Star games, the first ones?
I know it.
What is it?
I know it because I read it like a week ago.
Okay, well, do share.
Okay.
It's I believe it was the Stanley Cup champions team of the previous year versus like every other team's best players. Is that right?
It is, yeah.
Oh,
That's kind of sick.
Actually pretty interesting.
It's the
That's
defending
kinda sick.
Cup champs play a team of the basically selected players across the league. This happened at the beginning of the season, and that went on for quite some time.
I think more feasible with less teams in the league.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's much easier when you're
Much
facing 5
easier.
teams, best players
Yeah.
instead of 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second to last question here. So similar to that last question, there's multiple answers to this. What other formats have been used for these like roster selections?
Oh, there was North America versus rest of world. I know that.
There was, yep.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yep. Well, East versus West,
Yeah.
and then the draft,
Yep.
and now it's
And then
divisions.
Division.
Yeah.
Yep. There's
like
one
the fan
more.
votes. Fan votes?
One more.
Fan votes are included, yeah. I didn't write that down, but there's one more that happened before the whole Team North America versus the rest of the world.
They should bring that back, actually.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Before that,
Anyone have a guess? It's similar to that concept.
well,
Team North
Oh, it's
America
similar?
versus rest of the world.
it would be Canada versus World.
I was going to say, is it Canada versus world? No.
I'll just say it since I don't know if you'll get it, but it's basically the All-Stars of the league versus the Soviet Union team.
was that a format for an All-Star game, or is that just a...
That was the format for the All-Star game.
Oh,
Wow.
It was just like a select few players across the league to form a team, and they'd face off against Team Soviet Union, essentially.
Wow.
just like a one-game series.
So just a one-game thing at the beginning of the season to kick it off.
Interesting.
And that's...
How many years did they do that?
It's quite a few, actually. I think it was around 5 to 10 years, if I remember.
Oh, wow.
So not that long, but interesting nonetheless.
See, like, the players would actually play hard if that was the case.
They might have, yeah.
And as well, if there's Team North America versus Team Rest of World, imagine if the All-Star game was like they took it to like Switzerland or like Germany.
Ooh,
I guarantee no players would say no for a free trip out there. Just saying.
that is true, yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool with all like the international games they've been having now. Do the All-Star game abroad one year.
It's because it's really like it's like the same thing every year here, but like there they might just be able to create a little bit of a spark.
Yeah. Last one. It's a true or false question. And the question is, no player has ever been traded during the All-Star game while it was live.
I mean, I'm going to say true just because of the question.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm
False.
gonna say false. Yeah,
So you think someone has been traded?
I think someone's been traded. I feel like there was.
Oh. I'll say
Spice it up.
that's
it's
what I
Corey.
meant.
Okay, yeah, I figured
it up
that's
a little
That's what I meant.
So false, Aaron.
I was the first one to say it.
Okay.
You're just like not listening to me tonight. Jeez.
What?
Your mic's broken or something.
I don't hear it. So all of you are going false, and you are all correct. It would have been funny if I just tricked you all there.
We got-
Answer
That's such a
four.
weird fact to bring up if it didn't happen.
It is true. Yep. The only time it has happened live, obviously, we just had Horvat traded right during the event, technically. But the only time it was during the actual All-Star game, It was in 1990 as Bernie Nichols was traded from the LA Kings to the New York Rangers, and he found out after being told by the Calgary goaltender Mike Vernon in the dressing room in between periods.
Damn.
Wow.
That's the only time it happened during the All-Star game. Not the whole Horvat.
Vernon with the inside scoop.
Yeah, Vernon was on it. Totally different team and everything, but knew it.
Oh,
And that's that.
great. Cool.
So that's
Good.
that trivia. Tune in next time when I figure out what the hell the theme's going to be. Speaking of Bo Horvat, though, there was a lot of talk about him and the Islanders wanting to extend him after they just acquired him, and that did come true the very next day as they signed him for 8 years at what everyone thought was $8 million, but then it turned out it was $8.5 million per year, which starts obviously next season. So they get their guy. So does that change our thoughts on the trade at all? I know Kyle, you had a bit iffy on that.
I was going to ask that question. I was going to pose that question to you guys. Does that change how you feel about the trade now that he signed an extension?
You're not giving us your answer.
I'm thinking.
I beat you
so.
to it.
I know you did, and yeah.
What do you mean? How we feel about the return, or what?
Yeah, like if there was like an extension in place, do you think they should have got a little bit more? Because now they're not trading for Horvat just for the rest of the season. They're trading him for an extended period of time. Does that even affect what they should have got in return?
No. That was the price for Horvat, and then it's on the team to. I mean, they allowed teams to talk to his agent, so that already should have been talked about during the trading process.
Yeah, I don't think it would have impacted the return at all. I know Lamoriello was really devoted to signing him, so I think he literally just was like, all right, what do you want? And then bam. Or they already had talks, probably.
Then gave him too much for too long.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when I read that.
I thought it was sarcasm right away. There's no way it wasn't, but
if you watch
it is,
the
but it
actual
also
clip,
isn't.
It is and isn't, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think it would have. I'm not like mad that they didn't get more, because now that there's an extension, good on them, and good on Horvat, obviously getting that. He deserves it. Obviously young family, so he's locked in and doesn't have the pressures of being the captain anymore. So good on him, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yep, I'd say so as well. Good for him.
Perfect. So
I had a point to add and then I forgot it. Not that that's important at all. I'm just trying to stall so that it comes back to my head, but it's not.
Wow, you really ruined my perfect transition there. Now
just
cut it. Wait.
Just you can just snip this out if you want.
I'm not snipping this.
Okay. I'm trying really hard to remember what I was going to ask because it was actually very intelligent and insightful. But
we'll never know.
Seems to have yeah, that's disappointing. I hate when that happens.
Well, it'll probably maybe come up later when we're talking about something completely different.
Take it away, Max.
Thank you. Yeah. So, trade deadline, 23 days away. Obviously, so many Canuck rumors, along with the many others throughout the league. Still haven't heard a lot from at least my end about the Avs. Kyle, if you have any word on who they possibly be targeting with Horvat off the table.
Sounds like Larkin is going to be off the table soon as well. It sounds like he's probably going to re-sign in Detroit, unfortunately, so he'd be off the table. I think Colorado would just be targeting like a middle six forward. I don't know anyone in particular. Maybe I think it'd be really cool to have O'Reilly back. Although I think we probably have to overpay for him a little bit.
I thought you didn't like O'Reilly.
I don't like O'Reilly, but as like a third line center or second line center, just for like half a season, that'd be fine. Obviously, Jonathan Taves, there's always going to be the rumors there for Taves as well, which I wouldn't really want Jonathan Taves. I'm pretty happy with the team right now as long as they get healthy. As long as Landeskog comes back healthy, I think that's all that we need right now. We're having a better time as of the last few weeks, so yeah.
Nice.
Not too worried. I'm sure they'll get someone though.
There's those mock trades that we posted in the Instagram group that are actually pretty interesting, and they all look like they're pretty believable as well.
Would you accept the Canucks one there? What was it? It was Besser to Boston for Craig Smith, Johnny Beecher, and a 4th round pick.
I
have no idea who Johnny Beecher is.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we can get something a little bit better. I feel like we can get something a little bit better.
I think he's a prospect.
He's probably a prospect.
Sure.
I think if we can move off of Besser's 6.65 mil without retaining anything or taking on a bad contract back, because I believe Smith would be a UFA this summer. I think that's not a bad deal. Because honestly,
I think Beecher is supposed to be like a middle 6 kind of projection
prospect. Okay,
yeah.
Well, I mean, not just the Canucks one. There's like Patrick Kane to the Rangers for Capo Caco and a 2nd rounder, and then there's a straight swap with like Anthony Mantha going to the Wild and Dumba going to the Caps. It's pretty interesting ones.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I'll probably like make up as a bunch of little mock trades that I find certain areas and get you guys to.
That'd be cool.
To either agree to it or disagree with it, but that'll be a couple episodes away.
Like, according to these mock trades, the Islanders could be making more moves. It's Tarasenko and Barbashev for Wallstrom, Will DeFore, and 1st rounders. Be kind of crazy as well.
They have no future if they do that.
Yep, no future right now.
I mean, they don't, but like that's like even more so.
Aren't they one of the oldest teams in the league?
Yes. Definitely.
Love it.
So, still just over 3 weeks till the deadline. Obviously, it's going to really ramp up, and I feel like a lot of it won't happen until the last at least 2 weeks. I know Chicago with Kane and Taves, there's not a lot of surety that they even want to be moved, but we'll see by then. So that's pretty much it for the news segment. It was obviously pretty extended because of the trivia there. But I'll pass it over to Kyle now for our next segment.
Right. So my team sucks this year in fantasy. So we are going to be talking about the players that have been most disappointing this year that are our fantasy picks. Naturally, I lead this one because, my team sucks. So what are we, halfway through the season now, just after the All-Star game. Trade deadline's coming up in 3 or 4 weeks, so I think it's a good time for us to talk about who's been disappointing us. Some people more than others. Max, who disappointed you in your very successful season so far?
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean,
and may I add that your first person just going to piss me off because he's actually one of your best players, but go for it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought this would be a really cool topic we can talk about, and then because we're going off of who we drafted at the start of the season, not just league wide, because I would definitely not be choosing players from my team. I kind of struggled to find who to pick. I wanted to pick
humble brag much. Okay.
I wanted to pick someone
I've
at least.
Struggled to find bad players that I've drafted. Woe is me.
Yeah. I tried to make sure I found someone at least I picked in the top 10 of my picks, not top 10 overall. And I feel like I'm disappointed in Svechnikov in a weird way. I know he just went to the All-Star game. He is not that far off from being a point per game. and he, for fantasy-wise, is pretty goddamn good. He's, I think, still top 100 or so.
Hey,
But-
this isn't a compliment on your best players here.
No,
Let's
I'm
get to the
about to rip
negatives.
into him here. Well, not really, but I feel like he's just always been slightly disappointing. We've talked about him before. I think when we did our like preseason predictions and like winger rankings, whatever it was, I think I had him as my dark horse, if I'm correct. And I feel like I realize now in Carolina's system, he's never really fully gonna be more than what he is now, I think. Because of just how they play. And they have a very, Brindamore runs a 4-line system over there. And he's just very inconsistent in a way. He shot out of the gate this year. He has 19 goals as of now, but only 5 since December 1st. And on the year, he only has 4 power play goals. And obviously, you'd like him to be better on the power play because their power play for the team is ranked 22nd in the league. And for how good their team is, I know plus minus is a flawed stat, but he's a -2, and you'd expect that to be way higher. So I do think he's a bit of a disappointment, even though that's not saying much. So that is all.
Okay, now we get into the real disappointments.
Kyle, I know you have a few.
Oh, I got a ton. That's why I'm in the basement. Which, I mean, obviously Markstrom is on my list. He had an awesome season last year, and I'm getting to deal with bad Markstrom, which I was not prepared for in the slightest. Calgary's been up and down, and neither of Calgary's goalies has been able to grab the starter's job and keep it. As soon as they have one good game, their next game is just crap. So zero consistency from that squad. And then my most disappointing, Evan Bouchard. After somewhat of a breakout year, like a breakout kind of year last year, I was expecting him to take the first line power play and really take the Oilers defense squad to the next level, and he's been worse than he was last year. So I drafted him high as well. I think he's like an 8/3.
You drafted him very high. I remember that being a big talking point, like the next podcast after our draft.
And ever since, I've been disappointed. So
yeah, you really gambled.
Those are real disappointments, Max. Maybe one day you'll understand.
Not this year.
Yeah. Aaron, who do you got?
Yeah, so unlike Max, I had many people to choose from because the amount of people on my roster that have disappointed me is just more than have been actually that I felt good about this year. This was a pretty hard choice. I ended up with 2 that are probably the worst at the moment. The big one is going to be Tarasenko. Again, he's never going to be like the best player on my team. But I can definitely say I expected a lot more out of him. He's been injury prone again this year, which is no surprise, but he's -18 on the year. He's not producing that many points. And I mean, St. Louis as a whole hasn't been great, and I know they run the line, so he's never going to be like playing as much as I would like him to, but yeah, that -18 really hurts. He has 29 points in 38 games, so it's just production has not been as much as one would like out of him when he's supposed to be, or at least at some point he was supposed to be a big producer on that team. The other one would be Hedman, who was my first defenseman that I drafted. And I don't know, I know we've always talked about Hedman being basically the safest pick for a defense. He's always been super, super, super consistent. And then I don't know what happened this year, but all of a sudden he keeps losing his role on the power play to Sergachev, and he keeps losing playing time because Sergachev is taking over in a way. And he's done a little bit better lately, but I was just looking at it earlier, and for our point system, he's not even like in the top 20 for defensemen right now. Ooh. So my expectations from him and who I could have picked instead of him at the beginning of the year I can definitely say that I have been a little bit disappointed in his performance so far.
I didn't realize he's out of the top 20. Jesus.
Aaron, I sent you a trade for Hedman.
I saw. I will consider.
Ooh.
Honorable mentions on my team: Miller, Ryder, Matthews. A rough season.
That is rough.
Yeah,
I
I've heard
blame
a lot
all
about
of
these
you
guys.
for jinxing my fantasy success before the season starts.
Oh,
We
darn.
have.
That was
That-
not the plan.
That, and then
We
my
did it.
first time ever drafting a Canuck. So never again.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Well, let's see. Corey, why don't you give us yours?
Yep. Thank you, Aaron. Okay, I've got. Well, here's my finalists. I have 4 finalists. They are my 4th, 5th, 6th, and 9th pick. That's when I selected them in the pool. They are Demko, Moritz Seider, Jack Eichel, and Patrick Kane. It's all pretty high picks for me. All pretty disappointing. I would go with Demko, seeing as he was my 4th round pick. And he's been injured the whole year. So wasted not only a top pick, but also a top goalie selection on that one. But I'll give him slightly a break just because he has been injured. Injuries happen. So for most disappointing, I'll probably go with Patrick Kane. Not a huge fantasy player, but his point totals are pretty low. I mean, I should have suspected with Chicago being what they are this year and just pretty much everyone knowing that they're just going to tank this year. But I mean, he got 92 points last year and he's only has 35 so far. He only has 9 goals. I was kind of thinking he might get traded a bit earlier and get traded to like a nice offensive team. But that has not happened yet. So I think I ended up dropping him. So that's why he's my most disappointing player because I'm not even on my team anymore. So it's kind of a wasted pick, whereas at least Seider and Eichel are... I kind of thought they'd have huge years with their teams, but they're good, they're steady. So, you know, they're still good. But yeah, Kane. I was hoping I could maybe trade him too, because it's Patrick Kane, but he was just so bad that I just had to drop him. Anyways, that's my most disappointing. Does Mike have one?
Nah, my team's perfect.
Yeah.
Kidding. For the record, all of us in here, besides Max, have negative records in the pool. We all suck.
Battle for the basement.
We all suck. So my biggest regrets and disappointments are Jack Campbell and Jonathan Huberdeau. There's really not too much to say about them besides their disappointing seasons, and they're not doing as well as they should be. That's all I got there.
That's it. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So then the only other person in our league having a positive record is, of course, Rayhan, who is not with us, who is currently first. Does anybody have somebody on Rayhan's team that they would consider disappointing, or is his team just way too stacked right now?
I'd have to look at his team
His
right
team
now.
is goddamn loaded, and he has barely done any pickups because I feel like they're just that good.
The only disappointing player would be Landeskog, and it's because he hasn't played yet.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, Rayhan
Nice.
going 13-3 for the season so far, and he's only picked up 4 people. So safe to say he had a pretty good draft.
I've picked up 16 already.
Oh.
I actually just made it 17 before the podcast started, so we'll be seeing that move tomorrow.
Oh.
Damn, I'm going to go scoop him.
Yeah. You know, he doesn't have any disappointments really, other than maybe Landeskog.
Yeah. I'm in 3rd place. I'm 7-9, so I'm close to. Just for the record, I'm close to 500.
That's
right.
third.
But you're going to lose this week, so...
Oh yeah, I'm getting absolutely totaled this week. It was like the first like day, and Max had like 40 points, and I had like 5. All right, cool.
Well, on that note, are we ready for some more trivia?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do similar to what Max did the other week, a couple weeks ago now, I suppose.
What did I do?
And this is going to be targeted trivia. So we had a battle between Corey and Kyle last time. This time it's going to be a little bit of a team effort, but we're going to focus on Max and Mikey answering the main parts of the questions. Okay? So our theme here is you're going to name something in reverse chronological order. Okay, so I'm going to give you a category, and you have to give me an answer every year, going back as far as you can. Now, if you get stuck, we'll let Kyle and Corey give us a hand if you guys can figure it out as a team, but we're going to see who can go back the farthest, okay?
Are we teaming with both Corey and Kyle? Or like one person each?
You can enlist some help, yes, but you have to try by yourself.
I'll go on Mikey's team. And Kyle's
okay,
team.
all right. All right, there you go.
Max, are you serious?
Hey,
damn it!
It's Corey. Come on.
Ouch.
Well, we don't even know the topic.
Okay, so on that note, we're going to start off with Max, and his category is going to be Stanley Cup champions.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Wait, they're doing
sorry,
different...
Corey, you already picked your team.
Oh, I can 100% do this, but okay. Is it like, how about they get like a certain number of like phone a friend?
We won't need it. We're gonna kill it.
Right.
All right.
Well, you guys go ahead, and as soon as you stop, we'll let Corey start and see if he can go farther.
Wait, when are we starting? Or like Avalanche and then going backwards?
Exactly.
We're not starting with the first cup winner.
Okay, well, I could probably start in like the 70s and then work my way up. But
Oh shit.
What happened to the
2022?
NHL 23? Dude, I was prepping myself, studying and shit.
Well, you'll get your turn, Mikey. Hold on. Right. So Max with his assistant, starting in 2022.
I'm the assistant here.
No, Max, you go off, and then when you get caught up, I'll
Go
jump
for
in.
like 5.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
All right. Well, Kyle, do you want to say the first one? I think you get the honors for this one.
I don't even know the first answer.
No, I know the first one, but I'm giving
2022 Stanley Cup champions are the Colorado Avalanche.
Nice.
Nice.
I would be disappointed if you didn't know that, Kyle.
It's all I got going for me right now.
Well, next 2 are both Tampa. Then we're getting into a little slippery slope here, but it's
3 in, and they're already done.
No. You got St. Louis.
Okay.
Then you got Washington.
Okay.
Kyle, I'm just gonna do these because I know you're gonna be way better later. So
I see. My memory will actually be better like 2010 and backwards.
okay,
like,
I think
until
I can
2010.
do till then.
Okay.
So I've said Washington, and then you got double Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And then 2015 I'm at is Chicago.
Mhm.
Then 2014 is LA.
Oh.
Then Chicago. And
Yeah.
then LA.
Yeah.
And then 2011 Boston. Unfortunately. 2010 Chicago.
Oh.
Okay. Now 2009 is Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And then Detroit.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to slow here.
So that takes us to 2007.
Yeah. Anaheim won one in there. Must be them.
Your final answer.
I know Anaheim and Carolina are pretty close.
Yeah. Anaheim and Carolina were there. Corey?
Corey's not on your team.
No, I know
think
he
it's
wants to say
Anaheim.
something. I think it's
It is Anaheim.
okay, nice.
And then
Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah. Then lockout.
And then lockout. That's the tricky one.
Take your money from there.
And then 2004, 2003, 2004 would have been.
Oh God.
Oh God is right.
Oh, Tampa had an early one.
Oh yes, that's it. Tampa over Calgary. Yeah.
Tampa, 2004. Yep.
2003.
I can only think of numerous teams that were around then. Like,
Were the
Detroit
Devils?
won. Devil.
It was the
Devil.
Devils.
Okay.
Okay.
Good thing we didn't have to lock that in.
2000. Thank you.
You were going to second guess that.
Yeah.
2002.
Oh no.
Was that Detroit again?
It was Detroit.
2001 is the Avalanche. 2000 was Devils again.
It was. Geez, Max Kyle's kind of carrying the team right now.
99 was Dallas. 98 was.
I can't even keep up.
98 was. Oh.
Detroit won a bunch, didn't they? Near the end. There?
Detroit won in 97. I don't know if they won in 98.
Ooh. Okay.
Did they win in 98, Aaron? 98, Detroit?
Yes, they did.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
And then, 97. 96 was Colorado. 95 was that Rangers over Canucks, or was that 94 was Rangers over Canucks?
That was 94.
Okay, 94 was Rangers over Canucks. 95 would have been Detroit again? No. Okay.
Nope.
Why?
We might need a phone a friend for Corey.
This is getting pretty old. This is getting pretty.
95.
Yeah.
It's gonna piss me
90
off. So 95.
95. Is that not? Or was it 93? Montreal won. Didn't Montreal not win in 95?
It did not win in 95.
No,
that was in 93.
They were 93. Yeah.
95 is no, not
So we
Calgary.
know the next
It was 89.
Well,
Okay, we're skipping to
Devils
89. Yeah. It
Devils
was the
won.
Devils. That's right.
Devils, yeah.
Devils in 95.
95.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Oh,
and
it
then-
was a lockout year, I think.
was that a half year?
I believe so.
Okay.
You
Sorry,
got
Nick.
94. You got 93.
92.
92.
92. Oh.
Oh, was 92 and 91 back-to-back same winners?
They were.
Was it
Must be what, like Pittsburgh? Maybe?
Maybe.
I was going to say the Islanders or
Islanders were 80s, were they not?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Like-
Islanders.
They had the three-peat, didn't they?
Philadelphia, were they good in the early 90s?
I'm not going to tell you yes or no unless
I
you
don't-
give me a
I
strong
don't think Philly
answer.
won back-to-back.
I kind of trust Max's Pittsburgh because that's when it would have been Lemieux and Yager. That would have been a sick team. Yeah, let's go with that, Pittsburgh.
All right, it was Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Good
Nice.
job.
Yes.
And then 90.
Oh, God.
Wait. Was it 91, 92 was Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yeah, and then 90 would have been.
I'm pretty much done at this point.
Can say without a shadow of a doubt, I don't know 90. But then 88, 87, 86, and 85. Was that Edmonton, that whole stretch?
One of those is incorrect.
Okay.
1990. Oh,
So 88 was somebody else, and then 87, 6, 5, and 4 were Edmonton.
That's not what I said.
No? Okay.
I feel like we're getting ahead here.
All right, so you had 89 already some time earlier. You jumped really far ahead.
Somebody brought up Calgary, so
Is 90 like Edmonton? Safe guess.
It is Edmonton, yes.
Oh,
okay, that's good.
Good.
Yes.
All right.
And then we already said Calgary. So Edmonton's a bunch. Just a matter of which year.
I think at this point I'm going to balk and say that's a bit too out of my range. 10 years before I was born.
Max, any final answers? I'll give you like.
Alright, well, just gonna say Edmonton again until it's wrong.
Okay, yep.
Oh, okay.
Edmonton until it's wrong.
Yeah, and Edmonton again.
88, and then 87, and then wrong, and we'll call it there.
Okay.
86 was Montreal,
Oh,
and then you have Edmonton twice again.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right. Well, that was pretty solid, you guys. Jeez.
Were the Islanders in there?
Right after Edmonton, that's when they won 4 in a row.
Oh, 4.
80 to
I forgot it's
83.
4. Holy shit.
Gets a little repetitive before that, and then we got Montreal 4 in a row, Philly 2 in a row. Not too shabby. Jeez.
That's better than I thought.
All right.
Solid.
Not too bad. I must say, Kyle definitely helped a little bit there, Max.
I did
Just-
my part.
just
in
do the
first little
90s.
bit. Yeah.
Just
Something I can do or I'd want to do is the finals, the winner and the runner up,
Oh,
and the number of games in the finals.
Oh my god.
for when?
Oh, from present to lockout. So from 22 to 06.
Holy
I don't
shit.
know if I can get them all right, but I feel like I could be pretty close.
Okay.
I want to
that
hear
one
that.
down for sure.
But let's we can save that for.
I'll have to have the list pulled up, I think. Which,
Yeah, you have to pull up
Now.
the list.
but no studying from now till then.
No, I won't.
All right, so we're on to Mikey. Oh, Mikey, as promised, as our all-star of the group, yours is going to be Chel-related trivia. And your question from us is, again, in reverse chronological order. So you're going to start with NHL 23. You're going to name as many cover athletes as you can.
I can do that, but don't think I can do a reverse chronologically. Name a bunch, but I just can't name the year.
All right, well, do your best.
Can I just list them off? Because I'm definitely not going to get the year.
We can do a year.
Yeah,
I think we can do it.
We'll try to do a year, and we'll help as needed.
This year is Zegras and Sarah Nurse. Last year was Austin Matthews.
Yep.
The year before that was Ovechkin.
Was?
And then Matthews.
Yep.
What year is this? What year are we in right now?
We're on 19.
NHL 19.
Yeah, I'm already slipping.
Isn't
NHL
that isn't that McDavid?
Not yet.
No.
No.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
Oh. It's Mike. It's Subban.
It is Subban.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one's
Forgettable.
McDavid. This
Yeah,
one's
18 is
McDavid. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's McDavid. And then 17. I think I know. Corey, you have an idea?
Yeah, I think I know too.
Tarasenko?
It was Tarasenko.
That was a good game.
That was a good game. 15. Chicago
Hold on,
Blackhawks.
16.
We're at 16? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You're right though.
On the right track.
Still. Yeah, Jonathan Taves, right?
Yep.
And 15. Know it, Corey?
Yeah, I got it. Patrice Bergeron.
Yes.
NHL 14. This one is the GOAT cover. This one is Broder.
Hmm.
Broder.
Did I say that?
You did.
Okay.
Might be a Mikey Monday.
That's a little bit of a stretch, not gonna lie.
Okay. I'm waiting for a stupider answer.
NHL 13. That's far back.
That's Claude Giroux.
Claude Giroux.
True.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
NHL 12 was Stamkos.
Yeah.
NHL 11.
Ooh. I don't know if I know that one.
This is a repeat. We've already had him.
Oh, really?
Say repeat, but technically this is the original, maybe.
Oh, it's got to be Taves.
It was Taves, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank you.
NHL 10.
10.
NHL 10.
Yeah, I think this is a sick cover.
Was it? Is it OV?
No.
No.
I think it.
Is it Fanuff?
No.
No, that's. Fanuff is 09. That's the next one for sure.
well then-
9.
Well, then this one has to be Patrick Kane.
Yes, it
I
does.
think so. Nice.
Yeah.
I remember Fanuff for sure. I remember Fanuff for sure.
Yeah. So that's 09.
Right. 08.
I know 08 for sure because I had that one, and that's Eric Stahl.
It is.
And actually,
Worst
fun
favorite game
fact,
ever.
in his rookie year, he got 100 points and actually led Carolina Hurricanes to the Cup in 2006. Fun fact.
Wow, fun fact. How did you come up with that one?
I just,
Just off the top of your head.
I just remember playing the game.
Yeah. Nothing to do with my trivia.
Was 07?
Seven's
07.
Seven's got to be Ovi.
It does.
Yeah.
06.
6? Oh, I know this one.
I had 06 as well.
Tampa's Cup year? Is that Tampa's Cup year?
No, but it is Tampa. I'm pretty sure it's Le Cavalier.
Yes, it is.
05?
5.
I honestly can't even, I'm trying to process who I think it could be.
I think I know some of these, so I can just go ahead.
Shoot it off.
I think wait, or is that 03? 05. Is 05 Aginlaw?
No.
No.
Kyle.
Or Aginlaw?
I was.
Kyle knew it.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah.
All right, who is it?
Vancouver Canucks.
It is.
Yeah.
Naslin.
Yes, Naslin.
Or we had this conversation a couple months ago, I think.
Well, then 04 is... Well, 04 is tricky because
Yeah.
I had 04. It was Heatley, Danny Heatley, but then they took him off after the car accident.
Wait, did you have the Heatley version or the Sakic version?
I had the Heatley. I didn't know there was a Sakic version.
See, I had the Sakic version.
Oh, it's like we're two different. It's like alternate timelines.
It is.
Yeah, it's crazy that they took Heatley out of the Sakic version.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding. They didn't do that.
Just
It's like this. Everyone was just silent. I don't. That might be as far as. I mean, 02, 03 was
03.
Aginlaw, right?
It was, yeah.
02 is like Lemieux.
Yep.
Wow.
Really?
That's a
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good. That was good.
Good guess.
What the hell? Oh, 1 is I don't know. I know that 99 is Eric Lindros.
Yep. I don't know, 2000 or 2001?
Oh,
I think I know who 2000 is.
2000.
2000.
Yeah, the one before it.
What?
I don't know how to put that into words. Chris Pronger.
Yes.
oh,
Nice.
nice. Yeah.
2001 was captain of the Sharks at that point in time.
Marlowe. Owen Nolan.
Yes, there you go.
Jesus.
Dude, that's a good one. Owen Nolan, dude. Owen Nolan was on the cover.
I don't think I can go more than that, but I can tell you the name of the first cover.
Right, well, before we
Forsberg.
go there, does anybody know 98?
Forsberg. I just don't know where Forsberg is.
Forsberg was 98.
Damn.
Nice.
97's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
I would give anybody.
Do you know it? Do you know it?
No, I'm just looking it up at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
give me a hint. Is it Bure?
It's a goaltender.
Is it John Van Eesbroek?
Wow.
Video game right in front of him. He's looking at John Van Eesbroek. Right?
I'm not. He plays the goaltending for Florida, and he had a very cool mask that was like gold with the panther on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think I'm
96?
capped. I know. Yzerman was on one. I just don't know which one.
It was one of the
Heisman.
two on 96.
Yeah.
There was two.
It was
There's two
two.
players.
Yzerman.
chasing down this defenseman.
Scott Stevens.
Yeah.
Really?
You keep saying
That's
you're
horrible.
done and you keep getting them right. All right.
That was a guess.
95.
Yeah, I cannot.
Yeah, I don't. No
It's not
guess.
the goalie, Corey.
It's another goalie.
Yeah.
Wayne Glensky. Another goalie.
Vernon.
No.
Belfour.
Ashik.
No.
Oh, Hasek was a good one.
Waugh.
No.
Nope.
Think Rangers.
Curtis Joseph. Mike
No.
Richter.
Yeah.
He was on.
No, Mikey. All right. I think I'll stop you guys there then. Not too
Well,
shabby. So,
you're
Corey
forgetting-
wanted to.
Hang on, you're forgetting one.
Day 94.
From EA Sports, NHL Slapshot 2010, made exclusively for the Wii. On the cover was Wayne Gretzky. You could connect your Wii remote and Wii nunchuck into the little hockey stick and do some sweet angles.
Okay, I had a friend that had that game, and I would go over just to play it.
You take friggin' clap bombs from your living room. It was sweet.
Knocking over lamps and stuff.
Did you guys ever play what was that? It was like NHL Hits or something. It was like the little cartoon ones.
Never.
No.
Oh, it was great. You would get, it's like they would like get power ups and like turn on fire or like get really big or just weird, crazy stuff.
My
What's that?
my first game on console was NHL 94. My dad had a Super Nintendo, so I played it on there.
Gee.
And then my first game for computer was 04. Good shit.
Oh, for it, yeah. Are we gonna do an NHL 2K series now?
Oh no.
That's
Maybe
next
we'll have to do
week.
that one next week. Yeah.
All right. I think I know 2K 11.
Nice.
We're gonna have to do like a half-hour Corey trivia special. We'll just give you all kinds of categories to go through.
Dude, 2K had this Zamboni mini game in between periods,
Yes, that was so good.
and it told you the percent of ice that you cleaned
And it
as you
was
were driving the Zamboni. It
It
was like
what?
you had like You had like a minute to clean the ice, and then at the end, it would give you like a percentage amount of ice that you cleaned.
Did you ever get 100? I could never get 100.
I don't remember.
No matter how hard I tried, it'd be like 96 point something percent.
Yeah, I don't know. Rigged. Totally unrealistic. Cool.
All right. Well, that's all the trivia we have for you guys today then. I guess we can go over our Trivia Tuesday question. The answer, of course, being Chara. Some pretty interesting facts about him. Lots of languages that he speaks. I didn't know that one until researching. And then let's go over to Max. You can give us our next fan question.
Thank you. So I wrote this one down to ask you guys, and it is who has been the most disappointing player this year. So we'll be posting that, but I also want to point out Kyle came up with a pretty good one off the top of his head.
Actually, I was listening to Barstool.
Oh, okay.
Spitting Chicklets today, and that's what they were talking about a bit. So
we're stealing
ideas. So it's stolen, but we're using it.
We're not stealing ideas. We're just remanufacturing.
We're making them better.
We are making them better.
Yeah. So if you've also watched that, you'll know what I'm about to say. But our question will be, we'll also post this maybe a day or two apart. But will Vegas miss the playoffs? They were 2-8 going into the All-Star game, and obviously kind of dealing with a bit of injuries, and Mark Stone being out till at least maybe playoffs. So that definitely hurts them. So we'll be posting that on our social media pages. So make sure to follow that and answer away. And
also, thank you everyone that does the Trivia Tuesdays every week. I've gotten some really good feedback lately. Everyone loves it. And thank you to Max and Aaron for making those every week.
Yeah. I guess we should also mention last week's results. We did ask you on a poll if Demko would be traded. And we actually, despite all of our negative, talk on the podcast, 44% of you did say yes.
Whoa,
a little higher than I thought. So that's interesting. So, Aaron, you're up.
Cool. Well, thanks, Max. Yeah, I guess that turned into being a bit longer of an episode than we were thinking. As per usual, we like to talk longer than we think. Thank you for all of those who have listened this far. Of course, we'll be back next week with another brand new episode. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.